What's good, everyone? In today's video, I'm going to explain to you what separates Apex Predators from the rest of the player base. We're going to analyze 5 things that they do that the rest of the player base just doesn't quite grasp. Some of you may be thinking, well, of course, they're going to have insane aim and movement, and while both of those are true, it doesn't stop there. I think you'll want to listen to all 5 because you may figure out something that could be missing from your own game. If you guys are new here, just know my channel centers around helping you guys improve at Apex. So really, without anything further, let's dive right into this Apex Legends Masterclass. The first thing is, they are not afraid to fight. Most Predators and Masters rank players rarely back down from a fight. In fact, they usually search for them. Players in this class are hyper aggressive, and here's the reason why. These guys know that in Apex, there's so many variables going down at any given situation. Think about it. Is it late game, early game? What weapons do they have versus what weapons do their opponents have? What's their position versus their opponent's position? What armor are they on? What legends are they playing? What legends are they going against? On and on and on. See, Apex Predators know that this game is fast paced, and seconds can be a big difference between having a huge advantage over their opponents or not having one at all. Predators know that in order to take out teams quickly and efficiently, they need to operate fast and really seize their moments. Otherwise, other teams will start to hear all this and come see what all the fuss is about. But since most high-level players know this, what does that mean for them when their lobby is filled with 60 like-minded players? Well, they need to be 2 things: flexible and strategic. Now, of course, some are more eager to fight than others because there's really 2 types of Apex Predators if you break it down. One type doesn't care about their rank number, and the other does. This difference can make or break a lot of Predators. If you watch any high-level content creator in this rank tier, you will quickly see who is who here. At the end of the day, the badge and trail is the same for the #1 Pred as it is for the 750th Pred. Some care about this, while others just don't. If you guys are enjoying this video, please just go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. This helps out my video tremendously and lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, so thank you for doing that. Oh, and as a little thank you, I'll throw in another clip of me skateboarding at the end of this video. The last few times I've done this, a lot of my viewers seem to like it. The second thing they do is they are experts with legends. They play meta legends and use their abilities in the best ways and at the best times. This is no small feat in Apex considering we now have close to 20 legends in the game. There's a lot to learn here, especially for someone who picked up the game fairly recently. Predators pick up on legend details quicker than most of the player base. They help establish a top tier meta for the season or the split, and on the flip side, they know how to counter certain legends better than anyone else. They can anticipate what a lot of their opponents are going to do because they themselves are so proficient in the majority of the legends. See, if you know how to play a certain legend, you can quickly gather that that legend has some weak spots. You will know what works for them and how to get that said legend in the best scenarios. You will also know what scenarios really make it difficult for that legend. And you'll be able to not only dominate with them, but know how to deal with them. All of these tactics play a pretty big role in any Apex Legend fight, but more so in these higher elos, where just about everyone in the lobby is similar in this regard. But as I always tell players in my coaching sessions, Apex is a game of fine tuning. It's like turning a volume knob just slightly. The most minimal changes can have some of the biggest outcomes. Another thing these players are good at is being able to master multiple legends. Rarely do you see one tricks in these lobbies. Of course, players have their preferences, but these guys can pick up a legend quickly, and it looks like they've been maining them for seasons, despite only having a couple hundred kills on them sometimes. The third thing they do is they have insane teamwork skills. See, when you're in the highest elo of play, Apex is even more so a team game. Of course, Apex is always a team game at its core, but we're not talking about a public match setting here where you can slice up a 1v3 into 3 1v1s. No, see, in these lobbies, players play close to one another because they know that there is strength in numbers. You won't find isolation from one opponent as often as you think because players know a good team will capitalize on them slipping if they are. Fundamentally, this centers around team firing opponents and a firm understanding of when you get a player weak, you usually have an advantage if they dealt less damage to you and that you can force this fight before that opponent can heal. These players know how long each heal takes and if that opponent is even in a position to pull off that heal. Team firing in Apex is a solid strategy and can speed up the time to kill tremendously. This aspect makes it hard to fight a good team with really advantageous angles on you and your team. You could get knocked before you even knew what happened. And a lot of this teamwork can be seen in all of those moments leading up to a fight, developing angles, working to find the power position, and obviously all having good aim. When you come across a crack team playing in synchronicity with one another, it can feel very oppressive going against that team. So it forces other teams to either be better or play similarly. The fourth way they beat you guys is having top-notch communication. These squads are using some of the best communication skills in the game. When I coach players, I always talk about how improving your communication is probably the quickest thing you can do that can have the biggest impact on you and your teammates' game. Just about everyone can learn what is the most valuable information to be relaying to your teammates in any given moment. An example would be specifying what legend you hit, how much damage you dealt, and what armor that legend is on. See, this gives a lot of information to your teammates that they could otherwise not really know. So for instance, if we're taking a fight, instead of just saying, oh, I cracked one, I can say, I hit Watson 120 on purple. Another valuable way to communicate is to be very vocal about what you're specifically doing. Let's say we're in a fight and I deal 100 damage, but I also take 100 damage. I might tell them who I hit and for how much, and my teammates may decide to push up off of that damage, right? But I need to be vocal about the fact that I need to pop a battery. And in other words, I will be late to the fight. See, if my teammates know this and they play it smart, they can buy time and not get overexposed in a potential 2v3 fight. See, good teams do this in these lobbies, and good communication is something you can implement overnight. You just have to be thinking about what you are doing and what is the most valuable information my teammates need to know in that moment. And also, how quickly can I convey that information to them? If you watch any high-level Apex player, they are always going to do this, and it's just second nature to those good players. The fifth way Apex predators beat you is with their game sense. In this regard, they have something that the majority of the player base just doesn't understand. Now, whether those players never care to learn about all the intricacies of Apex Legends, or they simply just don't have enough experience in the game altogether, these high-level players use it to their advantage all the time. Their mind is like a ledger. It's ever flowing with information that they are seeing, hearing, and picking up on through their UI or from their teammates. They can pick up on what sort of situation they are finding themselves in within seconds, and then creating a decision on how to handle that situation even quicker. Now, some of this is muscle memory and it's just second nature at this point, while other times it will require more critical thinking. When you're in the highest level of a battle royale shooter, you need some things to just go your way because you frankly can't control everything. But you gotta make the best decision with the information you have in that moment. Remember at the beginning when I said they need to be flexible and strategic? Well, this is what I mean. Information that is being received by teams can change rapidly. You need to adapt to that info and try to make the best of the situation. Now, a lot of good players do this, but the key here is to never let your judgment be clouded by hindsight. And of course, guys, a lot of players can do all 5 of these things that I mentioned and do them well. And maybe they aren't officially in the Apex Predator rank, but I want to clarify a common misconception about Apex Predators before you go. Yes, it is the most prestigious rank in Apex Legends, but it doesn't mean every Apex Predator is equal, or even close to it. See, the number 1 Apex Predator doesn't usually represent the best player. It usually indicates the player who got a decent lead within the first 72 hours and was off to the races. Of course, I'm not shortchanging any accomplishment, but we all know there's been plenty of players to abuse RP systems or even cheat in order to reach Apex Predator. And once you're truly in the higher elo, lots of players are just so close together with their skill set, it's hard to even say one is better than the other. So with that said, just understand there are plenty of Predator level players out there who never care to play ranked like that and may never actually reach Apex Predator. And on the flip side, there are some players who have reached Apex Predator who may not actually be the top tier player you think they are. Ooh, that may be confusing or offend some people. Well, anyways, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll consider subscribing so you don't miss out on my next upload. If you're interested in finding teammates or chatting about Apex, be sure to join my Discord. The link is in the description. All right, that's it from me. Peace.